All right, welcome back to the Wrecky Boy podcast. I have Knight here with me.
Mamma mia.
I got Puppet,
Was
Viper,
Kaboom!
Plasma.
What's up?
I got Boom here,
Shakalaka.
and we got Mav. All right, so boys, obviously the topic today is supernatural shit. So anyone got any good stories?
I got a good one.
Let's hear it, Puppet.
So this happened to me back in, I want to say like 5th to 6th grade. I can't remember fully, but it was during like a fucking big ass like winter storm. Fuck, like this shit was stupid as fuck. I swear to God. I was home alone because my mom was out on a fucking date with one of her fucking many boyfriends she has. I was home alone with my fucking 3 dogs. We were all just sitting down, just watching some TV and shit. I made some popcorn for myself. I turn around, I see upstairs because in my house, we have a small hallway and the stairs, like you can see upstairs to the 2 bedrooms to the up. And then I had my door open because my whole room is on the right. I see a black shadow, like a black, full on like black shadow, walk into my room. I was like, well, fuck me. And I fucking grabbed my fucking shotgun that I keep next to my fucking next to the shelf in my fucking dining room.
Okay.
I grab it.
Now, wait. I hate to cut you off, but why
Yeah.
does a 6th grader have access to a fucking 12 gauge in your household?
Yeah, that's a little
Because
scary.
I own a gun license.
Hey, bro, homie, just trying to cap that ghost, bro.
Nah, I had
Ghosts are
access
pretty
to
much
guns
invincible.
since I was 6.
It's gonna double pump him, bro.
Nah, he's
No,
got that semi-automatic. He's
in
gonna triple
Michigan,
pump that bitch.
Hey,
in
man,
Michigan,
just one shot?
there's a law where you can be like 12 years old.
Oh
you
shit!
can
Yeah,
own
I
a
heard
gun
about.
license.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I have my own gun license. So,
Oh, that's the.
but
oh,
anyways,
okay.
I grab that shit. I go upstairs. I go to my room and I see my closet doors open. I fucking look in there. I saw nothing. But when I turn around, I saw that fucking dumbass black ass shadow go across my room and straight outside. Like outside the door that I came in. And when I turn around, I didn't fucking see that shit anymore.
You know what this sounds like to me? You were high on Benadryl.
Bro,
Back from
it's
last
always
week.
Plasma with the Benadryl, bro.
Yeah.
You said that shit last night, too.
Don't do it. Don't, seriously.
All right,
Yeah,
Viper,
guys
let's
won't
hear
be
it.
doing drugs anytime soon. All right. Anyways, so my grandfather's house, you know, it's
Oh, yeah.
I'm the only person that lives in that house aside from my dad, my grandfather. Every other house down the street completely abandoned. One of the house in the middle, that shit got power. But from time to time I'd walk down the street, you know, and the house on the very end of the street, that shit is like completely covered up by like trees and bushes. It's like a hidden house pretty much. Sometimes when I go down, the door is closed. Now, other days I go down, it's completely wide open. Like like almost like almost like I don't even know how to put it. That shit freaks me out
Congrats, you
sometimes.
have homeless people in your
Like, it
neighborhood.
probably, like, honest to God, it's probably like a homeless guy.
Yeah.
That you like.
That's what we think. That's
That happens
exactly
to me.
what we
There's this
think.
burnt down house down the street,
How can you
and
be
it
so
just
mean
gets
to
like
Jim?
open and closed all the time, and I'm just like, bro, it's like
No,
creepy.
yeah,
Then I just realized,
that's
hey, it's probably
exactly
that
what we
homeless
thought.
guy with a shopping cart down the street.
That's what I thought. I'm like, there's probably like squatters in there. So I
Yeah, that's
decided
what
to
it
get a
is.
camera one day. All right,
Oh.
I set it up. Now, bear in mind, these houses still have power. One of them have Wi-Fi. It's the one in the middle. All right, and I set it up, have it plugged into the wall, and maybe 3 days later, I come back to get it. It's still there, thank God. I review the footage, and I see the door like is closed, and then it opens like on its fucking own, like straight up, and then it just closes again. Then then after that, it just clean, nothing else.
Dude, I remember
I got a story. This isn't like supernatural, or I guess it is. But well, it's a for sure a trip. So what happened was I was going to an airsoft game, right? I go around my block, which is a small little block, because my friend lives probably 2 streets away from me, right? I go pick him up. He's waiting outside. We go over. He runs out, gets in. So this maybe takes 2 minutes. But before there was the whole like, cause I live in downtown Clovis, and there had farmers markets, which are like these things where like the farmers come in, they bring their fresh fruits and stuff like that. And that was all set up. There's like school bus parked in the middle of the road to like stop traffic, all this kind of stuff, cones everywhere, tons of people, and all like the stands and stuff like that were set up. This maybe took me what 5 minutes because I had to go help my friend. He went and grabbed some stuff, and I helped him grab some other stuff to go play airsoft, and then we came back and it's completely empty. There's nobody parked on the road. There's no tents, like the little shade tree, like not shade tree, this little shade tents. There's no cones. There's no bus. It's just like the normal day. But this took maybe like 3 minutes, so it's just a complete trip because it's like either they were like running back and forth, absolutely hoofing it to get out of there, or something. I don't know, but it's just a trip. I don't know why.
dude, there's
Hey,
this.
oh,
What's up, Knight?
no, go ahead.
We got.
I got a weird story. So
Let's
this
hear it.
happened. This happened a few nights ago. I come from a decently religious family, and I want to say it was Saturday night. Hold on. It was just kind of off already. Like there was just like an awkward vibe going on, and from what I've heard, my mom heard something kind of from the kitchen island area in our kitchen. And down the hallway there is my room. And my mom ended up thinking it's me since I'm a night owl. I normally am up at midnight. And she just sees someone standing there. But the second she goes over there, there's nothing there. And believe me, when I tell you, and she was beyond petrified. Hell, she saged our house like 30 times in the morning. It was creepy as hell since she said when she kept getting closer, just stared silently.
So it's just like it was like paranormal shit.
Kind of, but kind of not at the same time.
Bro, I was so when I was in basic, right, they have you at this thing where they're like giving you all your equipment, so like your uniforms, your PT uniform and everything. It's called 30th AG, right? And this place like is like prone to ghosts. Like it's just like they're always there, right? And me and my buddy were put on this like little detail. It wasn't even like a big detail. It's like just take the trash and throw it trash bin, right? Which was like I'd say like 3 in the morning, right? Taking the trash out. And we're walking to the trash bin, throw the trash away, and we're walking back to like it was like the barracks, right? And we look at this water tower. They have this water tower with the symbol of Fort Benning on it, right? Like they have like the symbol of the division. And we see a figure, right? We see a figure on top of the water fountain. Or geez, not the water fountain, the freaking water tower, right? We see it on the water tower. And we're like, what is that, bro? So we walk back and we tell our drill sergeant, we're like, "Hey, yo, drill sergeant, we saw like a figure on top of the water tower, and I just like we thought that was a little suspicious, so we wanted to tell you." And he's like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna see her a bunch." And we're like, "What do you mean, drill sergeant?" And we thought he was playing, right? We thought he was playing, and so we just like went along with it. And then he explained to us because like obviously we weren't doing anything, we were just on CQ, right? And he explained to us that there was this girl about a year before we had gone there. She wanted to get out, right? Like she had gone on profile for breaking her arm during basic, so
Oh
they sent her
shit.
back to 30th, right? And she wanted to get out and they weren't letting her go. So she became like very suicidal. So one day, like, so there's a forest right next to the barracks, right? So she like left during the night, went into the forest, climbed the water tower, and jumped off and killed herself. And like there was a whole like report on it too. And everything. And me and my buddy were just baffled, bro. Like we looked at each other and we're just like, dude, like what the like we were just like freaking out. We were tweaking. I did not sleep at all that night, bro. Like not at all.
Have you seen her since?
Huh?
Have you seen her again?
No, we only saw her one time.
It's always those basic training stories with those old ass dorms.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like we had another thing too, right? So when we finally got to like basic, like the actual thing, we were told by our drill sergeant, hey, there's some spooky shit in here because a lot of people have like committed suicide in these barracks. So like you guys are probably gonna hear shit that like isn't really there. But we had this light, right? And this light would turn on randomly, just one light. And we told our drill sergeant and we are like, hey, like, should we put in a like order for this, like a work order, so like workers would come up and fix it? And he's like, oh, that thing's never gonna stop. It's because somebody committed suicide and they slept in that bunk. They slept in the bunk under that light, right? And so one night it turned on, right? And we're all like, oh, like we were like, yo, Jimmy's here. Like we named him Jimmy, right? And um, and
That's where you
my buddy
fuck
was
up.
like, hey, Jimmy, yo, if you're here, turn off the light. And the light cuts out, and everyone just starts going, oh my fucking god, oh my god. Like everyone's screaming, drill sergeant comes running up, and we're like, drill sergeant, it was the ghost, it was the ghost. And like, he's like, shut the fuck. He's like flipping, dude. He was flipping it, bro. Like we thought we were gonna get smoked. He's like, total lie, total lie. He's like, privates. I know this stuff is gonna happen, right? But if it happens again, just let it go. Just turn the light off. Take the panel off and turn the light off. Stop fucking with the ghosts. And so we're like, yes, drill sergeant. And we just went about our day and we kept doing it, bro. We're like, yo, Jimmy, turn off the light. And the light would just turn off, bro. We were so scared. It was the funniest shit. It was
Yeah.
funny as shit, bro.
So I honestly feel like I'm about to start like a streak of this. So my dad has a story about some weird stuff, but so it seems paranormal when you're gonna hear about it, but um there's an explanation why. So there was there was this thing in like my dad's MARSOC squad, not as like in like his like separate team, but the whole squad, right? So it was an ongoing thing because it was first of all it was seen by a recon team and it was relayed to them. So what it was were these like quote unquote zombie Iraqis, which what they were was they were meth addicts because
Well, yeah,
it's not super well
you
known.
know
I'm
why
pretty
they
sure you
take
could look it up.
you know why they take
What?
meth?
Yeah, just stay up.
This stay up. Like, dude, you have to put. So we were told this by like a bunch of our like drill sergeants, and I've been told here by my team leaders that the reason why these terrorists take these drugs is literally the point of staying up, right? If they take meth, they're like for some reason their adrenaline, obviously, like their body's gonna be pumping and stuff. So when you put like
Yeah,
3 rounds into them, they're still gonna be up shooting at you, right? So you have to
that's
put
what
like
I'm saying.
you
So
have to
that yeah,
dump a
that
whole
gets into the
mag into
story.
them, dude.
So what would happen was these guys would be so crazied out on meth that the recon team actually shot them and they died. They thought they died, but they just fell down because they didn't shoot them in the head. They just shot them in the body apparently. I this could be a little exaggerated because it was kind of a fairy tale, like quote unquote fairy tale, but it was just kind of to scare people but my dad did see it. It was really nasty because eventually, because they weren't like fixing it because they were meth addicts, they got shot and they let that shit get horribly infected, and then they got sepsis, like full body infection, and they would be walking around, no guns, just be walking through the street, like with all the dogs, like I said last night, just eating the people, and they would be like absolutely torn up. They would be rotting while they're still moving, and they kind of just swayed, and they would fall over and then not be really. They would struggle a lot. Some just couldn't get back up, so they would just sit on the ground and wiggle forever, and then they would come through, and you just couldn't like shoot them. You couldn't do the humane thing and just like end them. And you might be thinking like, dude, that's so fucked up, but like it would be the humane thing to do. They're rotting while they're still
Well,
alive. Like
it's so loud. It's in the Geneva Convention. If you have not passed that enemy force, you can shoot him again until he dies. That's how it's supposed to work. It's like you're
well, no,
supposed
he
to shoot
wasn't an
him.
enemy. These guys couldn't even hold guns. Their arms were like rotting off.
Oh, so yeah, okay. I see what you're saying.
They
had,
were
like, a,
rotting. They had
like,
sepsis
yeah,
while they're so
yeah,
it
yeah.
was
Had,
it was
like, an
horrible. So
infection.
they couldn't just do the humane thing and like put them down, put a quote, to like end their suffering, because that was horrendous. Clearly, because it's nobody wants to have their arms rotting off. But basically, that was like the zombies of Fallujah. But it's actually explainable, and it's really gruesome when you do explain it. So
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, normally, I mean, I'm pretty fucking sure my house is haunted. Normally, when there's like a bad thunderstorm or some shit, so my sister's door to her room in the bathroom always like just shuts, open and closes like really like violently for like maybe 15 minutes at the same time.
it might just be your
And
sister on her period again, but yeah.
no, because it
there's
happened
no way
again. It
Ghost just
happened
said
one
that.
time when I was home alone.
Oh.
So in that door is right next to my room. I can show you guys a photo of it, of like what that
Oh, it's the
room
menstrual
setup looks like.
ghosts.
That shit is like right there. Another time I wasn't home alone, but everyone was sleeping. It was like 3. I think it was when Modern Warfare 2 came out, like the new one, and I was going for gold camos for assault rifles. And there's a painting on my wall that I have, and it was dead dark, like nothing. I like just fixed like the fucking screws in that thing, and it just like falls off and breaks entirely. But everything was like fine, like nothing was like broken on it.
So like the hinges on the door just came off?
Not no, it was like a painting. It
Oh, it
was
was
it
the
was on my
painting. Okay.
wall, and that shit just got like knocked off.
Your sister be being in. Actually, never mind. I'm not gonna say this.
But dude, there was one
I'm
time.
just trying to get this podcast not taken down.
Yeah, you always like doing that, Plasma.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you
There's
do.
this one there's this one time, bro, where me and my oh what was it again? Oh, it just tripped off my mind. But it'll probably come up. Boom, you got any like scary Air Force stories?
Scary Air Force
Having to do
stories.
something.
Yeah, like supernatural shit, bro.
Oh.
Actually, there is one KC-135. There's like stories of so in the cockpit there's these windows, or what used to be windows, but they're like bolted shut now because one time, I mean, this aircraft is completely haunted. I think the call sign is like Spook 50
Yeah.
or something, because it has like a
Hold on,
horrible
hold
rep.
on, hold on. Its call sign is spook or like spooky?
Yeah.
Holy Lord. Holy Lord. That is the AC-130 that my dad told me about in Fallujah. It was spooky, was the gunship. I think I know where you're going with this story, and I'm gonna let you tell
It's
it
not
because
the
it is a
Plasma, it's
creepy
No,
not the
it's a
same
story.
completely
thing.
different aircraft type. Completely
Completely
different
different
aircraft
aircraft.
types.
Oh,
He
what did he say it
said
was?
KC-135. It's a
yeah.
tanker.
Oh, my bad. I didn't hear the 5. All right, keep going.
It's like a 707. Anyways, so I don't like this aircraft sucks. Like it's always broken. There's something wrong with it. It does wonky shit. There was one time this crew was flying and the one single enlisted crew member, or I think it was the navigator, one of the two, um, there used to be like two windows above like the back side of the cockpit for like observation to like track the stars and shit or something. I don't know. I don't know what it was designed for, but that's what I was told. Somehow the window broke, so they lost pressure and it created a vacuum. It
Oh
sucked
yeah.
someone out of the window, not all the way. They were halfway in, they were halfway out. So they're like going like 300 knots or something like that at like
Oh yeah. I bet they're just
whatever,
fucking flying.
like 30,000 feet. So, they have to go on oxygen because they lost pressurization. Um, but like this this person was dead, like straight up just died in the middle of the flight because they got sucked out of the aircraft and got stuck. They were just completely stuck for the like when they landed, like he was just long dead. Like and
This
he
is
was
like
alive, like
what were you saying, Boo?
like I think the pilots were saying that like the guy was alive for a while, but he just died at some point. And it's just a spooky aircraft. Like the whole thing is like just so fucked.
Yeah.
Like everything about it is just terrible and nobody wants to be near it or even on it. It does some weird stuff.
There's a story
Hmm.
like that happened on a Boeing 737. Like the fucking window broke and some bitch flew out and she was like flying in the wind, like you said.
Like half her body was inside and half of it was out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's literally
You know
just
what's
a
crazy?
suction, dude.
My dad told me that story before we got on a flight.
So you were probably just like shitting your pants.
Paranoid as fuck. I was 7.
Damn. You were only 7 when he told you that?
I would be
Fucked up
scared.
shit, man.
I'd be scared. Dude,
I
like
remember I just watched the movie. I don't know if y'all know it. It's a okay movie, but it's called like Sully. It's about like this plane crash. Um,
Yeah, I know about it.
but I
I know what
remember
you're
I
talking about.
watched that before I got on my first flight to go see some of my family and but yeah, I remember watching it. I was just absolutely like fucking terrified the entire way there. And then like and my dad knew it. He was like, "Bro, it's not that bad. Like it isn't like what you think it was. It's not gonna crash. It's fine. That's like 1 in a million." But then every time we hit turbulence, I would just start absolutely like freaking out because I was like, how old was I? Probably like 10, 11, maybe. I was just getting freaked out though.
I had a you guys ever seen that new the new movie Smile?
Yes, I
No.
saw it
Yeah.
with my
It's
ex.
it's
I
it's
was
pretty
about to go
garbage.
see it today.
How
I
trippy
saw it with
that
my ex.
movie how trippy that movie is though is like insane. Like how she like this random person comes in, right? And she's freaking out and then this doctor's like just like
I don't even
dealing with
understand.
her.
The whole concept of that movie was kind of whack.
It like well
Yeah.
It
yeah,
Yeah.
is.
because like she thinks she's doing something, right? But then she's not. And then like in the end she just dies. And just keeps
Have y'all ever
passing
seen
to
that movie?
people. Which one?
I
Well,
don't think I ever have. I have
I
not.
called that one part, the animal ghost, your
Hell no,
pet. I
dude.
called it in the beginning of the movie. I fucking called it. I was like, dude, this thing's gonna die halfway through.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then like dude, the like another movie, have you guys ever seen Hereditary?
Yes.
No.
No.
Dude,
Hmm.
oh my god, I have to explain this to you. So there's this so they buried so it starts off obviously I believe I haven't seen this movie for like a year. I watched it with like my ex and like a few others and like my brothers and we're watching it, right? And in the beginning it's showing like a funeral, right? And it's of this grandma, their grandma, right? And the daughter of the grandma like is like does not like her mother because the reason is because uh when so she was like satanic, like she was into rituals and shit, and she believed in this like
Oh,
high spirit
Oh
and
wait, that
something.
movie? Okay.
Yeah. And so the daughter of the mother like was really close with her grandmother and stuff, but like she had like some sort of disability or something. It was like autism or something, right? And she'd make these like clicks, like she would click her tongue like, right? And um the son of the mother goes to a party, right? And like the mom says, "Hey, bring your sister with you." He's like mom, blah blah blah. I don't want to do that. That's dumb. So he brings his sister with him, right? And they go into this um they're at this party, right? And the daughter is allergic to peanuts, right? And she eats this it was like some cake or something, but it had peanuts in it, right? It had like peanut butter, I think. And she gets like deathly ill, and he's driving her home, right? And she's like gasping for air, and she rolls the window down. She sticks her head out, and her head gets decapitated by like a lamp post, right? Like a wooden one, like one of those thick ones. Gets decapitated, bro. She gets decapitated. And he just like the brother just keeps driving, bro. He just keeps driving home, stops in the driveway, and just sits there. And it's like, oh my god, and shit. And like then this like mother's like grieving like her daughter and all that, and she goes and sees this old lady. She like meets this lady from one of the like it was like what are those things where they like all gather around and they talk about their losses and stuff? It's like a gathering or something. So she
Yeah.
goes to this thing and she
Gathering.
meets this old lady.
Memorial.
Yeah, no, not a memorial. She meets this old lady, right? And like this old lady invites her in and she's like, "Hey, I want to show you something." So she's like, "I can talk to my grandson even though he's dead." And the mother's like, "No, you can't. There's no way." And she shows her. They turn off the lights and like put on the candles and stuff. And she's like, "Hey, like it was. I'll just make up a name, but it's like she's like, 'Hey, Timmy, if you're here, move this glass.'" And the glass on the table starts moving, right? And the mother just gets freaked out, right? But then when she gets home, she tells her husband and her son about it, right? And they gather around this table and they're like, "Hey, if you're here, move this glass, right?" And so the glass moves, right? Out of nowhere. And like the father starts freaking out, the son starts freaking out and stuff, and it just progresses, right? And then the son starts hearing the daughter's ticks. Like he starts hearing the clicking of her mouth, and he's freaking out, right? And like then he's getting nightmares of like ants crawling on him and stuff, and then all this stuff like his mother killing him and other things like this. It's freaky. And then like in the end, bro, the father dies to like getting burnt by the fire. Like he tries throwing the book that his mother like his mother-in-law, right, had the ritual person throws it in the fire, right? And like he sets on fire and he burns to death, right? And then like the wife is screaming, and then out of nowhere, her face just goes blank. Like she's looking like she's like daydreaming and she gets possessed. And then while this is happening, the son is sleeping, right? And he wakes up in the middle of the night. He's like, "Hello? Anyone there? Hello?" And he gets up and he walks in the living room, and you see up in the top, like left corner on the ceiling, the mother is walking on the ceiling. Like she's like crawling on the ceiling and stuff, right? He
Like
sees
some
his
supernatural shit.
yeah, like he sees his dead father's like body, like the burnt up body. He's like, "Oh my god!" Runs up into the attic, bro, and the mother just jumps on the attic and starts banging her head against the ceiling, like on the attic door. She's like banging. He's like, "Mom, please stop, stop, mom, please." And then like it stops, right? And then like it cuts to this ritual like statue in the attic, right? And he's looking at it, and then he sees his mom like think she's like right behind it or she's above it, right? And she takes those, those like things where it's like rope, but it's like the shit you can cut with. What are those called? Like you know what I'm talking
oh,
about,
like the
right?
little fucking like rope
Yeah,
saw.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like you can cut wood with it and stuff. He
Yeah,
starts
rope saw.
cutting her head off, like decapitating herself, right?
What
And he's
the fuck?
freaking out and he jumps out of the attic window and dies, right? And then what happens is the daughter possesses the brother, right? The daughter possesses the brother, and then like she goes into the treehouse they have, and in the treehouse it has the symbol of the person they're worshiping, and it has a bunch of people that are like decapitated and dead bowing down to it, bro. And then like it's you can hear the grandmother's voice being like, "You're finally home, sweetie," and then it cuts. The movie's done.
Damn.
Bro, it's like the freakiest fucking movie
It
I've
was
ever seen,
fucked
bro.
up.
It was scary as shit.
Oh
I
my
think
god.
I think one of the freakiest stories I have is when I was in Nebraska visiting my grandma. Well, her house is like really haunted. Like you'll hear people running up the stairs, doors will slam in front of your face and everything.
Yeah,
Well,
my grandparents' house in New York, who is like this fucking old farm is like that.
yeah, old farms are worse, but her basement's like really creepy. Well, I went to go grab a snack and it was like 3 a.m. Well, my mom was downstairs and I was like grabbing a snack. Well, I was asking her, I was like, "Hey, why are you up?" And I wasn't getting a response. So I shook my mom and she turned around and like she was just asleep, right? So she walks upstairs. So I ended up going back to bed and I woke up to see my mom literally standing, like staring in front of my face. And I literally
What
shook
the
my mom and she woke up. She was like, "What the
fuck?
fuck? Why am I like out of bed?" And I was like, "Do you not remember staring at me just now while I was asleep?" And she was like, "No."
Dude,
And then we left the next day and nothing happened back at our place.
that
Like, yeah,
is
we see children and people standing on top of our stairs, and then sometimes a door will slam for no reason. But other than that, that's all that happens at this house, and it never happened again.
that is
Hell
crazy,
no.
dude.
That's
Well,
crazy, bro.
I
Yeah,
think
nah, hell no. I'm not coming over ever.
this is a good time to end the podcast. It's a good place to stop it, but we'll keep these stories up on the next one. But thank you for
Yep.
joining the Recce Boys, and we out.